Hello and welcome to UB Stadium. Matthew Coller along with Sloane Martin, our UB Bulls football beat reporter. As you can see behind us, some soccer going on. UB currently down 1-0. They'll catch back up. They just started.
Yeah.
Sloane, UB 1-1. They played Penn State last week, put together a really good game, played strong defense against a quarterback that is supposed to be a first-round talent, Christian Hackenberg. I was thinking of Zach Mettenberger. Christian Hackenberg did not play very well against the UB defense, which was talked about a lot as supposed to be the UB weakest point, but they ended up playing very well against Penn State.
No, it was really a solid showing. This was on national TV as well, and that was a first for this season, and I think it was, you saw a lot of confidence the defense was picking up. You heard it from players this week, Coach Lance Leipold as well. They made strides from week 1 to week 2, and I don't know what pundits are saying now about Christian Hackenberg, considering his performance in week 1 against Temple wasn't very good either, so it's kind of 2 weeks in a row, and he hasn't really performed very well. But either way, UB really handled him well. He was only threw a touchdown, 128 yards, but really kept him in check. It was really the defensive line that posed a problem, but you're going to see that at that type of Big Ten level. But other than that, UB definitely showed some good stuff.
Well, the Bulls did struggle to move the ball, especially the defensive line of Penn State was able to get a lot of penetration against Joe Licata, breaking up some of their passes, even causing an interception by getting in Licata's face. But overall, a strong performance that leaves a good impression going forward here to play Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, and Coach Lance Leipold said that he was really happy, or he shouldn't say happy with the result, but they were there for 3 quarters and just couldn't really sustain it. Now when it comes to Florida Atlantic, he called this a comparable non-conference opponent. So we have the FCS team to start the season, we have a Power 5 opponent, and then now something with a Conference USA team that really could show us a lot about UB playing against, like he said, a comparable opponent. How are they going to stack up against kind of similar competition that they might see in the Mid-American Conference?
Well, that's the issue with playing Albany and Penn State in your first 2 games.
It's 2 completely different polls.
Right, and it's hard to figure out what this UB team is really going to be. Before we talk a little bit more about the roster and how the teams shape up, real quick though, a big week last week for the MAC. Maybe looks like it's going to be a pretty strong conference this year and quite the challenge for UB.
And that's why UB really has to keep up with the rest of the Mid-American Conference. Last week, Bowling Green beat number 18 Arkansas. No, rather it was Toledo beat number 18 Arkansas, and then Bowling Green got a win against a Big Ten team in Maryland. So the Mid-American Conference really strong at the top, and UB wants to keep getting these non-conference wins to, you know, build what they're putting together under Leipold to make sure they can kind of stay in that conversation toward the top.
So the impression that we've gotten so far is that Lance Leipold is running a more complicated offense that's going to give Joe Licata a lot of opportunities to use his brain, not only his arm, and they're going to run the ball a lot as well. Is that what you expect against Florida Atlantic?
Yeah, so it's, for me, the Leipold system, what we've seen so far is kind of just more modernized. It's something that you see a lot more across the nation in college football, and really Licata is charged with making a call at the line of scrimmage. He's either going to pass or he's going to hand it off, depending on what he reads from the defense at the line of scrimmage. So there's a lot put on him. We didn't see a whole lot of the run game against Penn State. I think that was just because it was really soggy and wet. Couldn't really get that going. And
the defensive line was playing very well for Penn State.
And Leipold even said this week, we got to get that running game back. You have Anthony Taylor, Jordan Johnson, both really big parts of this offense, and I expect them to get more integrated this week.
So how good is Florida Atlantic? If they're a comparable opponent, that means they must be bringing in a fairly strong team.
Well, they're 0-2 this year. They lost to Tulsa in overtime in week 1, and then they lost to Miami, and Leipold said that was a really similar game to what the Bulls did against Penn State, where they were there for 3 quarters and then they weren't able to keep up at the end. So the biggest question is literally their quarterback. He's questionable for this game. He told the Sun Sentinel he's going to be on the field, but he sprained his ankle against Miami, so his status is unknown. He's 6'1", 240, which I like to put out there because it's kind of been, yeah, it's something weird to imagine. He runs the ball. Exactly. He runs the ball a ton. That's a really big part of this offense, is running the ball with the quarterback. A lot is put on his shoulders. They like to put up a lot of yards, run a lot of plays, so it'll be interesting to see what the change of dynamic is if he's not ending up as a starter.
Maybe a prove-it game for UB. It'll be on Saturday at noon. Sloane Martin, you can check out her reports here at WGR550.com.